Welcome to another edition of Hardwood Classics on NBA TV. I'm Rick Kamla. In the 1993 NBA Finals, league MVP Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns would face off against Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. The Suns fell to the Bulls in Game 1 of the series as Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen combined for 58 points to take the early series lead in Phoenix. Let's go back to 1993 to see if the Suns could even the score in Game 2.
The officials, Jake O'Donnell, Jack Madden, and Joey Crawford. And we're ready for game number 2 of this best of 7. Mark West and Bill Cartwright. The Suns control the opening tip. Kevin Johnson met at midcourt by B.J. Armstrong. Richard Dumas given the room. Barkley off the pick. Barkley from the outside is able to hit on his first attack.
Get Barkley the ball, middle of the floor, much like Chicago likes to do with Michael Jordan. The same spot he hit the big shot against San Antonio to win that series for the Phoenix Suns.
Johnson with the steal. Batted away by Jordan and scooped up by Pippen, leading to the fast break. Jordan. Yes. And the game is tied at 2.
But that steal that time by KJ represents what Phoenix wants to do. They want to get out and pressure the Chicago Bulls.
The Bulls did an excellent job in stopping the penetration of Kevin Johnson in Game 1. Horace Grant hand-checking Charles Barkley, and Jake O'Donnell calls the foul on Grant.
So dangerous in the middle of the floor, Charles Barkley, because he can make a jumper from there if you back off him far enough, yet he has the potential with one dribble to get to the front of the rim, dunk the basketball, or create for his teammates.
Johnson had to change his shot as Grant came over to help out. Jordan tried to set up Grant.
KJ trying to make a little point of emphasis here, maybe an exclamation point at the end, goes in to try and dunk it, but Grant at 6'10" bothers him.
And B.J. Armstrong has come up hotly, got picked off by Mark West, who moved to center court to try and help out Kevin Johnson by setting a pick. The ball deflected out. It will be Phoenix possession.
I tell you, if B.J. is hurt, that's only going to help the Phoenix Suns and KJ penetrate more.
Barkley from deep. The Suns and the Bulls are tied at 2. Oh, beautiful alley-oop for Scottie Pippen. A look-away thrown by Michael Jordan.
Not a bad look-away pass to throw it about 26 feet, put it on the money, and then it's nice to have a guy like Pippen to convert for you.
Here's Dumas. Hard driving move by Richard Dumas. The rookie from Oklahoma State did not play at all in Game 7 against Seattle. Tom Chambers started, went most of the way, but he came back strong in Game 1 of this series. Pippen lost it. Dumas with the steal. 3-on-1 for the Suns. So Phoenix with a 6-4 lead.
See, that's what I was talking about, the aggressive defense, because if the Phoenix Suns play aggressive defense, then they can get into their transition game, much like they just did there.
Jordan, looks like Michael wants to get to it early offensively. He's come out shooting.
I think he's just looking it over right now. He's got to get his stroke down, see if he's got the good touch, good feel, but at the same time, he's willing to throw a few passes here early, get his teammates involved.
Suns and Bulls tied at 6. They trap Johnson. West for Barkley. And the foul.
And more importantly, we're talking about a foul on Grant, which is 2, and they need him to play Barkley. Well, let's go back to aggressive defense by the Suns, Richard Dumas, which gets Phoenix into their style of play. The best for them, the open court. Some good interior passing by the Suns, and Grant, who already had one ticky-tack foul when he poked him in the eye early, that time trying to come over and help out on the rotation. A little late, 2 fouls on Horace Grant early in the game.
And magic in contrast to the way the Suns came out in Game 1 on the tight side. Charles Barkley telling us after practice yesterday, he felt he was hyper, he felt the team was hyper. A different story thus far here.
well, they're more relaxed, and also they're playing better defense.
Foul called. West came over, got a piece of it, and picked up the personal.
Now, this is a strong move by Phil Jackson to leave Horace Grant out on the floor this early with 2 personal fouls on him. No one knows the team better than the head coach who sees him every day in practice. But normally you would pull him out and substitute, so you happen to use the other 4 fouls for the rest of the game. Phil Jackson making a move of staying with him. He's got confidence in him.
Scottie Pippen only 3 for 9 from the line on Wednesday night. Gets on his first. Suns with a 9-7 advantage. Scottie Pippen 12 for 20, 27 points. A terrific all-around performance in the opening game of the series. Here's Chicago going to the trap. Marley protecting. And then fires down. Suns fortunate to come up with that loose ball. And Dumas has given Phoenix an 11-8 lead.
And you saw the long pass, something that's a trademark of the Suns team. When they're playing loosey-goosey like they like to play, you'll see a lot of long baseball passes. In fact, George Carl mentioned they're the best in the league at going over the top with long passes.
Jordan got the step. Cartwright had it knocked away, but a loose ball foul is called. That's the second on Mark West.
Well, here on the trap, you must be aggressive. You must attack when you're being trapped. And that's what the Phoenix Suns do. They are aggressive and get a dunk out of it. Anytime you trap, you must try to score against the trap.
Early departure for that man. Mark West played only 14 minutes. Hit 3 of 3 from the field the other night, but picked up the early 2, and Oliver Miller has come on and blocks Cartwright. Oliver Miller, the rookie from Arkansas, coming up with the rejection. Nice hesitation move by Kevin Johnson. So the Suns lead 13-8. Pippen right back. Yes, Scottie Pippen wasting no time getting down court. The Suns lead by 3 with 4 minutes gone by. And they have opened at a quick pace. It is Phoenix Suns pace here at the outset. Suns have made their last 5 from the field. Marley for 3. Pippen has Grant in the open floor. Yes, and it counts. So the foul is called on Kevin Johnson.
Eyes up all the time, see the floor at 6'7". Pippen can do it, and when you have a power forward who runs the way Horace Grant does, it pays off with some easy baskets in transition. And credits to Phil Jackson for leaving him on the floor, not taking him out. He knows his team better than anyone.
3-point play for Grant to tie the game at 13. This time light pressure by Chicago. Barkley was fouled.
Well, what Phoenix have done now, they move, what Chicago has done now, they move Scottie Pippen over to guard Charles Barkley and move Grant over to cover Dumas.
And Barkley will shoot a pair. Charles has 5 points, 1 for 1 from the line, and 2 of 3 from the field.
And Magic, they opened up the game, the Grant-Barkley matchup. What did Phoenix do? Brought Barkley to the top of the circle to try and get Grant to have to guard him out in that area where he could beat him off the dribble. But as soon as Pippen went on him, they put Charles right down in the hole and posted him up. Charles bigger and stronger than Scottie Pippen.
Phoenix 15 and Chicago 13. Barkley switches off to Pippen. Now met by a double team. Grant. Well, looked by Scottie Pippen off the trap in the corner. And the game is tied at 15. Again, B.J. Armstrong looking to make Kevin Johnson work hard to get it across. And a foul on B.J. Will he get the call on the continuation? No, he won't.
They don't want Kevin Johnson coming back to the middle of the floor, so if he's going to get to the basket, his easiest path will be turning the corner. That time, B.J. ride him a little bit too much.
Now Barkley posting up. Charles Barkley able to hit the turnaround on the Suns lead by 2, and Barkley off to a fast start. Joe Crawford with the whistle. And a foul against the Suns. It's on Miller. Timeout taken by the Phoenix Suns. We'll be back in a moment. Well, in game 1 on Wednesday night, B.J. Armstrong did the job against Kevin Johnson. Johnson only 4 for 13 for his 11 points. B.J. hit 3 from downtown. And B.J. and the Bulls so successful in stopping the penetration of one of the best in the business, Kevin Johnson. We talked with B.J. about that and asked what are his plans for going up against Kevin Johnson here in game 2.
Well, I think, first of all, our team, our total team made an effort to know where he's at on the floor and know where he operates and tried to get acquainted with his game, his right to left crossover, his finish with his left hand at the basket. So our team was well aware of what he likes to do. And my main goal was to make him work from the time the ball was taken out of bounds to the time they set in their offense. And once he does give it up, not allow him to get the ball or make him work to get it, that, you know, that he's just out of sync.
Well, Bill Cartwright able to hit. And the game is tied at 17.
The little things that KJ pointed out go back to the conversation with Phil Jackson, coach of the Bulls, prior to the first game, saying that Richard Dumas hits a little 12-footer from the baseline, saying that knowing the players and the little things they like to do might be more important against Phoenix than actually the X and O part of it.
Pippen gets inside. Pippen on the follow. So both clubs are hot. Chicago 8-4-11. Phoenix 8-4-11.
Well, the first team that makes a defensive stand will take control of this game. So far, it's been back and forth offense on both ends of the court.
Game tied at 19. Here's Dumas. Back tap by Jordan. And Armstrong brings across just under 6 minutes remaining. First quarter. Marvin with Mike Fratello. Magic Johnson. Marvin shot and a storm. From America West Arena in Phoenix. Jordan with another opportunity. Crowd reacting. They felt that Jordan pushed Marley away as Marley went for the steal. That's a traveling violation on Pippen.
Let's go back to the last play for Phoenix. You have the player coming over to set the screen. The defensive man, Cartwright, must stop KJ from getting to the middle of the floor. It's what Magic talked about in the beginning. They don't let him get to the lane area, but he still creates a shot for a teammate.
Chicago's 4th turnover, giving the ball back to Phoenix. Scott Williams guarding Charles Barkley. Williams coming out for the first time. Jordan for 3. Yes. Michael Jordan hitting from downtown. He now has 7 points. And Michael has just passed Magic Johnson as Barkley gets inside. Michael Jordan passing Magic for 5th place among all-time playoff scorers. He now trails Kareem, Jerry West, Larry Bird, and John Havlicek. Scott Williams rejected, and Miller comes away with it. Well, Magic, you're number 6.
Well,
Not bad.
yeah, what can I say?
Offensive foul called that time. Chicago's defense, again, closing down the lane. Steps in, takes the foul as KJ tries to pass off. Tight defense, get in the lane, but they constantly step up the Bulls defense and pick up offensive fouls.
4.5 remaining in this first quarter. The Bulls now lead 22-21. Bill Cartwright sitting down. Stacey King has come on. The matchup will be King and Miller. So it's King, Williams, and Pippen up front. They double up on Jordan. And the pass knocked away by Marley. So the Phoenix trap well executed. Here's Marley for 3. Jordan eluding Marley. Jordan lost it. Miller with the steal. But the ball goes back to Chicago.
Think about the things that Oliver Miller has done because of his long arms and fingertips. He's blocked the shot. He has challenged Jordan in a double team, and here he just flicks in quickly with those long arms and long fingers and forces a turnover.
Oliver's net size only 17, though. It's all of the wingspan. Danny Ainge has come on for the first time. Bulls lead by 1. Here's Pippen on a fadeaway. Knocked away by Barkley. Marley met by Trent Tucker, who just came on. Barkley sets for the 3. And the Suns not able to hit from long range. Scott Williams knocked away by Marley. Scott Williams had the strong game on Wednesday night. Really did the job off the board.
Scott Williams was in there for the final 12 minutes of the basketball game, and when he was on the floor, Chicago was +11 against Phoenix. So that means without him, they were actually down. They have a lot of confidence in Scott Williams.
Tom Chambers, who came on just a moment ago, is called for the foul, and Stacey King will go to the line. Tom Chambers did not get the playing time the other night, coming off the good one against Seattle in Game 7.
Magic, I want to go back to the last possession for Phoenix when they pulled up and Charles wound up shooting the three-pointer. We understand that Charles is going to take his threes every so often from behind the three-point line, but that particular time, I would say, was not the right decision. And looking over at Paul Westphal, he was not real happy with that shot selection.
Well, that's because you got your best rebounder shooting a three-point shot, and you take your best rebounder from the basket, and nothing good can happen for you.
Well, Marley able to get to that loose ball, but Chambers blocked by Williams. Pippen for Jordan. And Trent Tucker able to get to it. Bulls with the ball. They lead by 3. The shot clock running down. And it's a 3-second violation called on Chicago.
Now, this is a very interesting move by Coach Paul Westphal because he really is not going with a point guard. He has Danny Ainge playing point guard, so we'll see how the offense is ran now by Danny Ainge.
And the reason for that, Trent Tucker is out there. He won't put the same pressure on the ball as a B.J. Armstrong would, so he feels comfortable with Ainge in this role that he can get it up against Trent.
Foul committed by Williams. The basket will not count. Scott Williams called for his first.
Inside play, taking place. The Bulls bumping all those cutters, coming to the basketball. That time a little bit too much pushing and shoving. And what Paul Westphal has done now is he's put a very big team on the floor for the Phoenix Suns. You're talking about West, Chambers, Barkley up front, and a backcourt of Ainge and Marley. He usually likes to go small. Right now he's going very big.
Not only that, he has his best shooting team on the floor at this time because both Ainge and Marley can shoot from the three-point line as well as Tom Chambers can also shoot from the outside.
John Paxson replacing Michael Jordan. Jordan with 7 points, 3 out of 6 from the field. Comes back to Barkley. Chambers. The Suns and the Bulls tied at 24. Bulls have missed their last 5 field goal attempts. They have Williams with King and Pippen up front. Tucker and Paxson at the guards. And Jake O'Donnell with the call away from the ball.
In the penalty comes number 24, Tom Chambers.
Apparently Chambers called for the foul, and it puts Phoenix over the limit.
And Chambers started to run down the floor as if the foul was going to be called against the offensive player, trying to help the officials make that call. Jake O'Donnell right after and said, no, I don't buy that routine.
So both teams over the foul limit. And Stacey King to the line. He is 3 of 3 from the foul line. 2:18 remaining. In this first quarter, the Bulls by 1. Game 3 in Chicago Sunday night. 7 o'clock starting time. In the East, right here on NBC, Game 4 at Chicago next Wednesday, June 16th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Suns do not have trouble with the pressure. Barkley being played now by Scott Williams. Barkley changed his mind. coming his way, and a foul call. So Tom Chambers to the line. He was hit by Scott Williams.
One thing about Tom Chambers, when he decides he's going to get a shot up at the basket, he's going to get it up. You can expect him when he gets going to try and finish.
Tom Chambers in his 12th season out of Utah. Last couple of years bothered by back problems and hamstring injuries. Well, during the course of the regular season, the Suns averaged 31 free throw attempts per game. In the playoffs, 32. Game 1, only 15. In Game 7 against Seattle, Charles Barkley went to the line 22 times by himself.
And that 31 you talked about was the second most per game in the NBA taken by a team, the Phoenix Suns.
Stacey King went short. West's pass intercepted by Pippen. Chicago looking for Trent Tucker to get into it. Stacey King. Rebound Charles Barkley. Barkley try to lead Johnson.
See, it's always difficult for when you're a point guard to now get out on the wing and receive the pass. Here's Charles Barkley, who normally is on the wing, and KJ, who's normally handling the ball. They reverse roll, and it ends up in a turnover.
Bulls have missed their last 7 from the field. We come up on 1 minute left in the quarter. They get 0 for the last 8. Although Chicago leads 26-24. Kevin Johnson being guarded by Trent Tucker. Kevin Johnson with a second field goal. And he's tied the game at 26. Pippen off the hesitation dribble. Pippen for Williams. What a play by Scottie Pippen. The Bulls lead by 2. Johnson changed his mind. Picked off by Tucker.
Well, you got a man here who was down in game 1, that being Kevin Johnson. Now he wants to do a lot of things. He wants to make something happen. And that time he wanted to make something happen, but got caught in the air.
You got 3-point shooters on the wing in case they double Pippen.
Shot clock down to 4. Pippen. Final seconds of the first quarter. Ainge to the fadeaway. Yes, and it counts. Foul committed by Trent Tucker with 2 1/10 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Last thing Chicago wanted to do is give the Phoenix Suns an opportunity to finish off the quarter with a 3-point play. The problem is that they had to get a shot up at the other end of the floor with what you would call a lot of time left, meaning about 8 or 9 seconds remaining on the game clock. So Phoenix was going to come down and get some kind of good shot up, providing they didn't turn it over.
Danny Ainge very quiet in game 1. Now trying to complete a 3-point play. 85% free throw shooter this season. Suns by 1. Pressure on the inbound. Final seconds of the quarter. Pippen for Tucker for 3-point. That would have counted. The Suns hearing it from the crowd. A first quarter that was tied 10 times, but after 1, Charles Barkley very much into it. 4 of 6, 12 points. It's the Suns 29 and the Bulls 28. As the second quarter gets underway, Michael Jordan gives it up to B.J. Armstrong. And the Bulls now lead 30-29. Czar, can you imagine if Rush Limbaugh did play-by-play for the Phoenix Suns? That's a foul on Danny Ainge.
delay of game warning charge against the Suns.
Paxson does a good job moving his feet, gets over in front. Very close call that time, and then after it, Danny Ainge took the basketball, tossed it away, and a delay of game warning was called against the Phoenix Suns.
You can see that Phoenix has changed their offensive strategy. They're now trying to run after-made baskets.
All right, Grant being played by Miller. Jordan. Rebounded by Miller. Frank Johnson has checked in for the first time, played well in game number 1. And Miller finishes it off. Suns by 1. 1 minute gone by in the second quarter. Can you imagine if Rush Limbaugh did play-by-play for the Suns? He'd probably suggest 5 years mandatory for traveling violation. I'll explain that later. So I'm thinking about that. Okay. And a foul is called. A loose ball foul. Jake O'Donnell, Jack Madden, Joey Crawford working the game. Oliver Miller called for the foul. Well, as we mentioned earlier, Magic with tears in his eyes as Michael Jordan passed him by earlier. He took it well, I thought.
Yeah, well, since he's a good friend of mine, I decided to go ahead and not cry too much. You know, but it was somebody else, I probably would have been really upset.
And there's the man next in line, John Havlicek. One of the greats from the Boston Celtics.
John Havlicek up at 4 a.m. this morning, taking his first air balloon ride around the area. Got up as high as 4,000 feet, but hovered mostly in that 60 to 80-foot area off the ground. Said it was sensational.
And Hondo will be one of the guests at halftime with Bob Costas on the Prudential halftime report. Armstrong on a pull-up. Grant, and he was fouled. Tom Chambers disputing the call. Frank Johnson raising his hand. And let's see who the foul was called against as Charles Barkley is being waved in. No official word. It is Johnson. And Chambers will sit down, replaced by Barkley.
Obviously, Frank Johnson, with a reputation for being honest, he held up his hands, so the officials went along with the call.
Game is tied at 31. Michael Jordan with 9 points, and the Bulls lead by 2. Armstrong applying pressure on Johnson. Johnson played only 9 minutes in game 1, hit 4 of 7, 8 points, did a good job penetrating. Barkley stepping around Grant. 14 for Barkley, and he's tied the game at 33.
Nice job of raising up, getting Grant to commit a little bit too much, took him out of his defensive stance, and it was a matter of putting it on the floor, going around him.
Grant, Miller with the rebound. Air ball thrown up by Danny Ainge, and a foul was called.
Defensive man normally wants to be down in his stance. Charles turns and faces, gets him up in the air, and now go around and convert.
Michael Jordan with a sweet stroke. Cliff played in Greece this past season. Bulls lead 35-33.
And the exchange for Chicago was giving up Cliff Levingston, bringing in Rodney McCray. They lost the energy, the rebound, and the defensive play and toughness of Levingston. Hoping McCray would fill that void. He has not done it this season.
That's been a disappointing injury year for Rodney McCray. Paxson able to penetrate.
Well, I think right now with Phoenix, they're playing well defensively. And Coach Paul Westphal should feel good about that, but they got to get back here.
And Grant able to hammer it home. He thought he was fouled. Phil Jackson is very upset, but no call. The Bulls now lead 37-33.
See, defensively, the Phoenix Suns must get better. They must try to get a few stops. Now, Oliver Miller's been good on defense for them, but the team defense hasn't been that good.
And a blocking foul. John Paxson is called.
Dishing it off at the end. Grant with the finish. Barkley challenges, and after the basket, the entire coaching staff of the Chicago Bulls was up. They felt there should have been a foul on Barkley. Barkley with the effort. That's how you tell your big people to finish plays off. Don't put it up and lay it up. Dunk it when you can.
And Marley will inbound. A quiet first half from Marley. He is 0 for 3, scoreless. Started slowly the other night, then came on. Bad shot. Forced it, although he was double teamed. Last touch, though, by the Bulls. And it will be Phoenix ball with a new 24.
One thing about the Chicago Bulls, if you turn in the middle, you're going to have 3 or 4 guys jumping out at you.
And that's what Barkley faced just a moment ago. Frank Johnson puts the move on B.J. Armstrong. Nice fake, but Pippen with the block, and a foul is called.
Well, a little bit disappointed. B.J. Armstrong, he went for the ball fake, got up in the air. Frankie Johnson leans in a little bit, so the block is clean, but it's the body of B.J. Armstrong where the foul is called.
Second on Armstrong, 2 apiece on B.J. Armstrong, Horace, Grant, and Scott Williams. Frank Johnson to the line. Frank Johnson, 34 years old, and had played in Italy in the last 3 years after spending 7 seasons with the Washington Bullets, a year with Houston. He was a first-round draft pick of the Bullets. Has been a major contributor off the bench for the Suns, in particular in the playoffs. Bulls have a 2-point lead. Again, Jordan facing a double team as Miller comes over to help. It leaves Scott Williams open, and he takes him to the hole.
Well, right there, you saw that Charles Barkley had to make a decision. Do I run out at Scott Williams, or do I continue to guard Horace right up under the basket? And you can see he decided to take Horace and lay up there by Scott.
Miller. Good luck from Marley. Bulls 39. The Suns 37 with 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Grant posting Barkley. Williams. So Scott Williams getting to the offense. 6 points for Williams. The Bulls lead by 4.
The pace is still good for the Phoenix Suns. It's an up-tempo game, and they love it.
Pippen broke it up. Nobody back for the Suns. It's Jordan all the way. And a timeout taken by Paul Westphal. The Bulls by 6.
We mentioned that Phil Jackson's got a lot of confidence. Well, Williams has a wide-open jumper that says, hey, why not take a layup instead of a jumper? So he goes uncontested to the basket for the first one. The next score doesn't come quite as easy because he's got to fake first, get Barkley off his back, then convert by dunking the basketball. Unselfish play by the Bulls. Give it to Michael. Let him get the 2.
Now, Phoenix been playing excellent team defense, individual defense, but not team defense. Here they're going to double team Michael Jordan, make him throw the ball. Now, when you double team, you got to get all your men rotating on the Phoenix Suns, where they don't rotate to Scott Williams, and they give up an easy layup. So you got to rotate, get good team defense. And that's what's killing the Phoenix Suns right now. Good individual defense, but poor team defense.
And the Bulls have hit their last 5 shots. They now lead by 6. Their biggest lead of the game. Kevin Johnson has returned. Marley. And Barkley. Charles Barkley has The Bulls now lead by 4. Just under 6 minutes remaining first half. Marv Albert with Lazar Vitello spreader, Mike Vitello, Irvin Magic Johnson, Bob Rashad, Hannah Storm, Bob Costas will be along at halftime. Here's Jordan. Oh, what a pass for Horace Grant.
You talk about beautiful, unselfish basketball. There's give and go. Pass, cut to the basket, get it back, and then either score or give it off to a teammate. Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Chicago by 6. Barkley with the setup. Marley could not finish it. Jordan. The Bulls lead 47-39. Michael has hit his last 4, and he has 15 points.
The difference between the Chicago Bulls and the Phoenix Suns, Chicago Bulls make 4 or 5 passes on offense. Phoenix Suns make 1 pass and stand.
Dumas, bad shot. Marley for 3. Another opportunity and another bad shot. What a sequence for the Suns. Whoa.
Let's go back a moment ago. Michael Jordan down here had just passed the ball across the floor over to Scottie Pippen, and now he moves without the basketball. Give and go, get it back, draw the defense, make the pass, and finish off. Jordan, who moves as well as anyone in the league without the basketball, just draws all the attention and then unselfish play.
Grant fouled by Marley. Chicago has hit its last 7 shots to take an 8-point lead with 4:33 remaining first half.
Inside, Grant going up strong. Got to stop him from making easy baskets, so Marley takes the foul to prevent the score.
And Marley has been silent at the other end. He's 0 for 6. Once again, Phoenix not able to hit their staple through the regular season. Not able to hit the 3-pointers. And the shot selection on the 3s has not been good.
What happens is when you take so many of them, you're used to getting your share each game, and then when they don't come easy, you try to force some, or when you do get a look, you try to get it up there in a hurry.
Especially on Chicago, you got to get it up in a hurry, or somebody be out there contesting it.
Chicago leads by 10. But Johnson meeting the pressure. Marley now played by Grant. Barkley being guarded by Pippen. Single coverage, and Barkley now has 18.
Well, Danny Ainge did a smart move. Pass to Barkley, and he cut to the corner, knowing that Trent Tucker would not go down and double team Charles Barkley.
Armstrong, yes. And the Bulls have hit their last 8 shots on fire. Marley tried to slip through and lost it. Team on Pippen, who gets it out. Grant off the pick. Beautifully done as they swing the ball around, looking for the open man.
That's exactly what Magic talked about. Difference, 4 or 5 passes, play unselfish, doesn't matter who scores.
Well, let me just put it bluntly here. In a running game, Phoenix is at their best. In a wide open game. But in half court, Phoenix struggled, where now you're talking about a championship team in the Chicago Bulls. They're the best half court team in basketball.
Evan Johnson turning it over. The ball goes back to the Bulls. Michael Jordan receiving a brief rest. Try to check in, but the substitution not allowed. Trent Tucker was heading off. So Jordan will come on next whistle. Bulls in the midst of a 10-2 run. They've hit their last 9 shots as we come up on 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Chicago with its biggest lead. Johnson with the steal, stripping Cartwright. Here's Johnson from Marley, and he's fouled by Pippen. Sarcastic reaction from the crowd on the foul call. Pippen picks up his second.
If they can just generate a little bit of easy offense, and that happens when you play good defense. KJ getting back in there, hands in on the center. Now gives it up to Marley, filling the wing on the right side. Pippen just takes the foul rather than give up the layup.
This is a Phoenix Suns team that went 62-20 during the regular season, best record in the league. They've struggled in the playoffs, although they have reached the final round. Had problems with the Lakers, losing the first two, taking the next three to win the series. Took San Antonio in 6, and then won a difficult 7-game series against Seattle. At home during the regular season, they won 35 and lost 6. 4 home losses, though, at the hands of Eastern clubs, and 3 of the losses after the All-Star break. Jordan on the recovery. Now, that's one you rarely see. The pass was slightly off, but he was still able to get it and was able to convert.
Well, that's why he's so great. That's why he can do things that no other player can do.
And actually, the Phoenix defensive player got a body on him. So, yes, the pass was a little bit short. Jordan couldn't extend, but Marley goes back and gets a body on him right there to prevent him from scoring. But Jordan recovers more quickly than Dan Marley.
The Bulls have hit 10 of their last 11 from the field and lead by 12.
Timeout. Ahmad overheard Phil Jackson telling the Bulls they like the tempo, they feel they're in control as Michael Jordan tips it in, and he wanted Cartwright on the floor to stabilize this team both offensively and defensively. The experienced center who will get them in their offense, allow them to run it by setting screens, and get on the glass and help on the boards.
And a foul call, that's 3 on Scott Williams. A red-hot second quarter for the Bulls, who now lead by 14.
Well, here's Michael Jordan attacking the offensive board. See, Michael can hurt you in so many different ways. You always got to know where he is on the court and put a body on him when a shot goes up.
Scott Williams sitting down. Chicago 13 for 19 from the field. Phoenix only 5 of 16. Now Barkley operating against King. Got it back to Ainge. And the Suns finally hit a three-pointer. They missed their first 4. Bulls 57, the Suns 46 with a minute 50 to go in this first half. Jordan chased by Chambers and Marley. They continue the double up. Shot clock at 1. King gets inside.
Again, we're talking about team defense. See, you got to get a man rotate. You can let him pass it to the outside. Never let him pass it inside for a layup.
The inside is the heart of the defense. Don't take away the heart.
Bulls with a 13-point advantage. Barkley. Charles pulling his way and then going to the left hand. Charles Barkley's had a big first half, 20 points, but not getting the support. And Chicago leads by 11. Here's Pippen. Stolen by Johnson. Rare miscue by the Bulls. Emma Johnson now guarded by Michael Jordan. Chambers to the scoop. Rebound Barkley. Oh, what a play by Charles Barkley. The Bulls by 9. 40 seconds to go in the half. 22 for Barkley. Jordan. Well, the Suns with a chance to knock that Chicago lead down further. Chicago led by as many as 14.
If you're wondering why we were talking about 4 or 5 passes for Chicago, and then suddenly Jordan shoots a quick one, he was trying for a 2-for-1. Get one up, see if it goes in. No, we'll get the last one back.
And Barkley drew the foul.
Penetration by Chambers, gets it up on the glass, and then Charles just rips it from between 2 Bulls and converts as he's falling down. And then, again, to end a quarter, an opportunity for Phoenix to wind up with a 3-point play. They did it to end the first quarter. He has a chance now, Barkley, as he goes to the basket, to do it once again this quarter.
Well, see, they're doing something different here in game 2. You see Westbrook going to react to this play. They're getting finally penetration. They may not be getting it from KJ, but they're getting it from other guys, Phoenix Suns.
And this the best sustained period of the half. For the Suns, 7, straight points. And the Bulls now lead by 6. 10 seconds left in the half. Tucker did not want to take the shot. Gave it back to Jordan. Now Tucker for 3. Well, Phoenix able to come back down by as many as 14. They have moved within 6 at the half. Michael Jordan, 9 for 15. He has 19. Charles Barkley, 10 of 14, 25 points. Starting the second half. Yes, and it counts.
At the other end, the defensive end for Chicago, Barkley gets past Grant, but there's the cover-up by Pippen blocking the shot. Chambers shows the ball. It's called the old up and under, and Michael coming from behind gets a piece of his head. So Chambers goes to the free throw line for a potential three-point play.
I like how the Phoenix Suns are starting the second half, because even though Barkley got his shot blocked, he was going to the basket. The same thing with Tom Chambers. At least they're taking it to the basket.
So Paul Westphal starting Tom Chambers rather than Richard Dumas. Suns with a 13-3 run that goes back to the latter stage of the second quarter. They are within 3 points. Scott Williams. Jordan trying to break it up. And it's Phoenix ball. Correction, it is Chambers starting rather than Mark West. Chambers up front along with Dumas and Barkley, Johnson and Marley at the guards. Chambers got the step. Well, the veteran providing the spark has brought the Suns within 1 point.
The reason Paul Westphal went to Tom Chambers starting the second half, because he wants more offense in the game. That's the reason he started Tom Chambers.
And the Bulls have started Scott Williams, Reverend Bill Cartwright. Phoenix with a chance to take the lead. Violation called on Jordan. Nice play, and Scott Williams extends. So the Bulls with a 61-58 advantage. 2 minutes gone by, third quarter. Evan Johnson for Tom Chambers. Michael Jordan knocked it away. With a show-the-ball move, Jordan on the follow, and he drew the foul. Charles Barkley, his first.
We're right here. Scottie Pippen gonna go baseline and spin back to the middle. He draws Chambers, kicks it to Scott Williams for the slam dunk.
And Michael Jordan takes the basketball and decides that he is going to make some things happen for himself by putting the ball on the floor. And remember, against New York, not too many times did he get to the front of the rim. Against Phoenix, it's a little bit easier. Even though he may miss the first one, he stays with it and gets another opportunity.
Oliver Miller is back. Richard Dumas sitting down. Oliver Miller played well in the first half in a 13-minute stint. Chicago 63, Phoenix 58. Here's pressure by the Bulls. Johnson had a hold up on the dribble. Pass too strong.
They got what they wanted. Phoenix tried to attack. Chicago comes up with the turnover. Jordan.
Horace Grant with the rebound and pops it back out. Here's Jordan for three. Yes. So Michael Jordan with his second three-pointer. He has 24. The Bulls regroup, now lead by 8. The Suns had knocked it down to a 1-point Chicago lead. Johnson on the penetration. Barkley. Charles Barkley puts it back. He has 27. The Bulls by 6.
Charles Barkley is playing an MVP-type game tonight. He is really taking it aggressive to the basket when he gets it. Also, he's attacking the offensive boards. He's really making it easy for the Phoenix Suns to stay in this game with his offensive play.
Kevin Johnson collects his third foul. Jordan for Grant. Williams had it knocked away. It'll be Phoenix ball. Scott Williams argues the call.
They try the drop-down pass as Scottie Williams turns to make his pivot. The ball goes off. Scott goes to Phoenix.
Miller gets inside. The Bulls 66. The Suns 62. Jordan with the spin gives it back. Grant. Nice touch by Horace Grant. 16 for Horace. The Bulls lead 68-62. Phoenix Suns looking to tie the series in one apiece. Chambers not able to hit. Miller able to chase it down. Bulls want to return to Chicago up 2-0. Marley. Marley with his first field goal, a three-pointer. And it brings Phoenix within 3. They collapse on Williams. And the ball knocked out of bounds. Scott Williams looking for a foul, but no call.
And if you think about it, go back to game 1. His first three-pointer in game 1 came off of a second shot opportunity when they missed the first one, but got it back outside to him. This time, the same thing. First shot a miss, get it back, kick it across the floor to Marley. He makes the 3.
The game is getting physical now. And so watch out. There will be a lot of quick fouls. There might be a lot of people in foul trouble before this game ends.
Jordan lost it. Marley with the steal. Jordan in pursuit. Marley. The Suns within 1.
Every time it's gotten to this point, Chicago has answered with a big basket. We'll see if they can do it one more time.
Jordan. Yes. And they do answer. The Bulls 70. The Suns 67. Played by Jordan. And Pippen has Armstrong in the clear. And we get a call, a fouls call. Barkley was cut off at center court by Scottie Pippen as Barkley was trying to race down court, and the basket will not count.
Charles Barkley gave the extra effort to try and run down what appeared to be a certain layup. To me, there's no call involved there. That had nothing to do with the outcome of that play. Should not take the basket away.
America West Arena is rocking. Charles Barkley in his final season with the 76ers, his 8th and final season last year, put up these numbers, averaged 23 points a game, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. And this season, coming over to Phoenix, upping it to 25.6 per game, 12 rebounds per game. And that doesn't really tell the whole story because in this situation, he's done it in a more meaningful campaign with the Philadelphia 76ers, who were out of it most of the way last year. It's really hard to measure averages, and Charles has stepped up in a big way, an MVP season, and he has come back today after the bad game in game 1. Here's Armstrong off the turnover, goes to the pull-up. The Bulls now lead 72-67.
Let's go back to Charles Barkley for a second. When you make a statement, you better be able to back up your statement. He said that if he was surrounded with better players, they'd have a chance to win a championship. He has backed up his statement. He's had a terrific season.
And a bad shot by Barkley. You mentioned the better shot selection by Charles. There have been a couple that have got off the mark. We just saw it a moment ago, and it leads to another Chicago field goal. B.J. Armstrong with 8 points, and he's increased that Chicago lead to 74-67. 5:40 remaining in the third quarter. Johnson off the dribble. Rejected. Grant came over to help. Here's Chambers. And Jordan rebounds.
See, that's what I was talking about, the half court. Here's Pippen on the layup, and the basket counts. We'll go to this with Mike first, and then I'll come back with my point.
Well, you said close down the lane when he gets there. If you've got shot blockers, what happens is it usually winds up producing easy scores. When you've got numbers on the break and a shooter like B.J. Armstrong, you wind up with a lot of easy points. Down the lane, try and convert. Nope. Instead, we'll let another big guy come over. This time, Grant gets a piece of it.
See, their whole thing with KJ is they want to send him to the middle, and then they're going to converge on him, the Chicago Bulls, and try to block his shot or take a charge. Now, Phoenix, the way they got into the game, they were running, getting layups and dunk shots. Now, they're going back to that half-court game, and they're struggling, and that's why the Bulls have got their lead again.
Scottie Pippen, that field goal, his first points since the first quarter. And Chambers with the bad pass. The Bulls in an 8-0 run and lead 76-67.
Again, half-court offense. They're struggling in the half-court offense, but when they get the ball and get out in the open court, they're making good things happen for them. That's the Phoenix Suns.
Ollie cut off the baseline. Jordan went back in that direction. He thought it was foul, and Grant able to convert. Horace Grant has hit 7 of 8. He has 18 points, and Phoenix takes a timeout with 4:50 remaining. Third quarter. Bulls lead by 11.
Camera in the woods and the camera up in a helicopter. Marv?
Ahmad, Bulls with a 78-67 lead, 4:40 remaining in the third quarter. Barkley gets inside, the basket counts, and a blocking foul. Scott Williams called for his 4th.
Get Charles down low, close to the basket. Good things are going to happen because of his strength and power. And in fact, going back to what Ahmad had just mentioned, when Michael was playing golf yesterday, the reports came out that he was playing with Charles Barkley, when in fact, it was Quinn Buckner that was out there. So that means Quinn must look a lot like Charles in the helicopter at least.
Oh, he picked up some weight, didn't he? Quinn did.
4.5 remaining. Third quarter, and the Bulls lead 78-70. So Phoenix able to put an end to that 10-0 run by Chicago. Williams fouled by Barkley. For Barkley, his second. Similar situation to game 1 when Chicago led 71-68. Phoenix had made its run, and then Chicago was able to pull away. And here, Chicago had a 70-67 lead. Phoenix had come within 3, and then the Bulls go to the 10-0 run.
Because they understand the mentality of what goes on. Great teams will make runs at it. It's not going to lay down and let you beat them by 25 or 30 points. They have the ability to concentrate that much harder, execute that much better when the pressure is on, when Phoenix makes the run and cuts it down to a 3-point game.
And how about Scott Williams in his 3rd year out of North Carolina? The script has been the same right throughout. He has come up very strong come playoff time. Did it against the Lakers 3 years ago. Did it against Portland last season. Barkley again draws the foul. Another 3-point opportunity. 32 for Barkley.
As we mentioned, if he's 8 for 8 at halftime from inside, why wouldn't you just keep giving it to him down there until they do something to stop him? Man, it's just too tough one-on-one in the paint area.
He's getting great position, though, and he's getting the ball just where he needed. His outstretched hand, boy, he don't have to dribble, he just takes it up and power it.
He's 6 of 7 from the line, 13 of 19 from the field, 33 for Barkley. Grant was called for that foul, his 3rd. 6-point Chicago lead. Trent Johnson now pressing Scottie Pippen. And Johnson is matched with Pippen. Pippen goes right at him. Frank Johnson about 6'1" against the 6'7" Scottie Pippen.
It doesn't take him a whole lot of time to recognize where the mismatch is, does it?
Well, that's the difference between the two teams. They recognize the mismatch, that being the Chicago Bulls.
Chambers blocked from behind by Jordan. Bulls have hit 6 of the last. What a pass! Jordan for Grant. The Bulls by 10.
The big man running the floor, finds the painted area, and just waits for Michael Jordan to deliver it. Michael, with eyes all over the place, sees the entire floor.
We're approaching 3 minutes left in the third. Marley for 3, yes. Well, Dan Marley hit only one of his first 5. And he's hit his last 2 from 3-point range. 10 points for Marley, who was scoreless at halftime. Bulls by 7. Jordan to the reverse and slapped home. Will it count? No. It is called offensive interference.
Michael just tries to get it up on the glass, hoping something good will happen. Grant comes from the offside to follow up, but the ball is in the cylinder. Therefore, the basket is taken away. Good call.
Danny Ainge with a good-looking drive to bring Phoenix within 5. 2.5 left in the third. Pippen. Crowd wanted to travel. Jordan. He's been off. Frank Johnson draws the reach in. Frank Johnson again has come on and done a nice job because Kevin Johnson once again has been ineffective.
Well, the last 2 baskets have been through penetration. That time you got Danny Ainge going in for a layup, and the one before that, Frank Johnson penetrated, kicked it out to Dan Marley for the 3. So penetration is paying off for the Phoenix Suns.
Johnson. The Bulls by 3.
Now you see Phoenix picking apart the Bulls defense the way Chicago had been picking their defense apart.
The steal by Marley. Johnson with Barkley. Barkley drops Phoenix within 1. Phil Jackson wants to talk it over. The Suns with 9 unanswered points. They've hit their last 6 shots, and they've cut into that Chicago lead. It is now the Bulls by 1.
Frankie Johnson, after hitting the jump shot off the inside-outside play, loves it. He knows they got the crowd back into the basketball game.
And here Dan Marley steals it away from Michael Jordan, and Frank Johnson sees Barkley trailing and gives it to the big man for the slam dunk.
And Michael Jordan only 2 of 8 from the field in this third quarter. Broadcast time at 7 p.m. in the East. That'll be 4 p.m. Pacific. Game 3 in Chicago on Sunday. Game 4 next Wednesday at Chicago. A minute 45 remaining third quarter. The Bulls at 1 point in the first half, led by as many as 14. Phoenix closing in the second quarter with that 10-2 run. Bulls able to extend the lead here in the third, and again, the Suns have managed to come back.
Magic, is this a tough call right now? You got your point guard, Kevin Johnson, who's on the bench. The team is making the run without him. How long do you leave him there before all of a sudden you're concerned about, have we hurt somebody's feelings, and is he going to have his head down because he's not in the game?
You can't worry about feelings. You can't worry about anything. The team is playing better with him being on the bench. You got to leave Frank Johnson out there because this crowd is into it. The momentum is in Phoenix Suns' hand right now. So, hey, forget feelings. We got to win this game. That's what Paul Westphal is saying.
The Bulls 83. The Suns 82. Jordan. So Michael Jordan to the floater. Against Chicago, a 3-point lead. Michael has
And the biggest difference in the third quarter is that Charles Barkley is 4 for 6, and Michael Jordan is now 3 for 9 after making that last shot.
Frank Johnson rebounded by Michael Jordan.
Instant replay, same exact play. This time Johnson misses the shot.
Ainge comes up hobbling off that steal attempt. Marley for the rebound. Just under 1 minute remaining in this third quarter. Phoenix with the ball trailing by 3. The last time they led was back in the first quarter by the score of 19-17. Barkley works off a double team. Barkley, oh, look out. He landed hard. Charles Barkley going for the rebound, shake it up, but will hang in. Looks like he hurt his right elbow. It will be Chicago ball.
First thing he does is bust through a double team to give himself some space to get a shot off. An incredible effort. And then Barkley going after it. His legs go out from under him, and he hits hard to the floor.
Well, I think his teammate right here, see, Frank Johnson is up under him, so he had nowhere to come down, and that's why he hit the floor hard.
Barkley wants to stay in. He is hurting. The reverse. Michael Jordan has 30. The Bulls now lead 87-82.
The right arm of Charles Barkley is bothering him. He came down hard from a ways up. That's a big man landing on that forearm elbow area, and he's still trying to shake it off.
15 seconds left in the third. Chambers. Tom Chambers sweeping from left to right to cut it to 3. We're down to 5 seconds in the quarter. Here's Pippen. And again offensive interference call on the ball. And words between Frank Johnson, Scott Williams, B.J. Armstrong all involved. Michael Jordan trying to calm his teammates down. And the officials also looking to settle things down.
Well, Frank Johnson is saying, hey, I apologize on Wednesday. I'm not apologizing tonight. And what happened was they all fell on the ground right here. And then at the end of it, I think it was a little pushing and shoving. And then Michael Jordan tried to calm everybody down. Frank Johnson was still upset. So I think everything is clear now. Jake O'Donnell will settle everybody down and get back to playing basketball.
Oliver Miller pegs it in. Here's Barkley firing. It was Frank Johnson tearing the jersey of Scottie Pippen in a collision. And you took exception when Frank apologized to Scottie Pippen, but no apologies right here. Johnson played well in the third quarter, but he'll sit down. Kevin Johnson has come on as this fourth quarter gets underway. The Bulls lead by 3. Ainge being guarded now by Paxson. Marley for 3. Yes! And the game is tied at 87. Dan Marley has hit his third from downtown. He's hit his last 3. A double up on Jordan. Stacey King fires to B.J. Armstrong. And Horace Trent posting up on Charles Barkley. The Bulls lead 89-87.
Scoop Rashad came out of that last timeout and said that Phil Jackson told his team 5 times Phoenix has come at us tonight. They're going to come at us one more time. We've got to hold them off and make a push.
And Charles Barkley has tied the game at 89. He has 37 points. Obviously bothered by that right elbow. He landed on it late in the third quarter, but Charles is hanging in. Here's Jordan. Miller with the rebound. At one point in the first half, Chicago led by as many as 14. Barkley all the way. Phoenix with the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Suns 91, the Bulls 89. B.J. Armstrong dumps it off. Horace Trent rejected, but hits on the recovery, and the game is tied at 91.
Sometimes as a player and a superstar, you got to take the team and put them on their back, much like Charles Barkley is doing right now for the Phoenix Suns.
Illegal defense called for the first time. For more on Charles Barkley, let's go over to Hannah Storm at the Phoenix bench.
Well, Marv, you're correct in saying that Charles Barkley did injure that right elbow when he fell to the floor just a few moments ago. During the timeout, he was treated by trainer Joe Prosky. They iced the elbow, they put cold spray on it, and they will continue to ice it during the timeouts. But Charles determined to stay in and win this game, Marv.
Thank you, Hannah. Game tied at 91, 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Miller rejected by King. Barkley. And Jordan able to move across. Armstrong for three. Knocked away by Johnson. It'll be Chicago ball, but a timeout taken by the Suns. 9:38 left in the game. A new era began for the Phoenix Suns back in early November when this arena opened. Capacity 19,023. Michael Jordan getting a rest. It will be brief. Sitting down with 30 points. Charles Barkley leading the Suns with 39. The Suns and the Bulls tied at 91. 9.5 remaining in the fourth quarter.
In that last timeout, Chicago most concerned about rebounding the basketball. They're standing and watching, not going after it. Phoenix has become the aggressor.
Stacey King could not hit. Rebounded by Dan Marley. Kevin Johnson. He was hit before the shot attempt. Chicago Bulls going with a front line of King, Grant, and Pippen. Bill Cartwright has not played at all in the second half. Bill Cartwright, 13 minutes, 1 for 3 from the field in the first half after a solid first game. Bill Jackson likes the matchup. Stacey King against the quicker Oliver Miller. Barkley off the dribble.
Because of the size of Horace Grant, he could not get a real good, clean look as he tried to shoot that one on the move.
Armstrong sets up Paxson. Pippen checking the 24. 5 remaining. Paxson. John Paxson line drives it home for his first field goal.
See, that's what the Chicago Bulls are going to have to do. They got to go through Scottie Pippen to try to penetrate, make something happen either for himself or for a teammate, just like he just did there.
Bulls by 2. Shot clock at 6. Ainge comes back to Ainge. With 10 points. Paxson for 3. Off John Paxson, a notorious street shooter, given the room, and he took advantage.
And he's not running real well. That leg is bothering him. It bothered him when he came out earlier in the game, and you can see him struggling as he tried to get back, but it didn't affect his shot.
Strong move by Miller. Bulls by 1. 7:35 remaining. Fourth quarter. Chicago trying to make it 2-0 in this best of 7. Only breaking up the pass, while Phoenix hoping to tie this series at 1.
Floating to that familiar spot opposite the foul line area. Paxson's made so many big baskets during his career, and there's the guy that replaced him as a starter, B.J., passing over to Paxson in the corner for the jumper.
Scott Williams is back replacing Horace Grant. Paxson. Shot clock at 4. The block. Miller behind the back. Miller try to go all the way. Ainge to the fadeaway. Miller gets it out. Marley passed on the 3. Marley to the basket. And last touched by Miller.
There was a great example of Chicago's defense closing out, meaning running at that three-point line and forcing Majerle to put it on the floor and come inside it. Once he came inside it, he couldn't get a clean route to the basket.
Timeout is called with 6:59 remaining in the game. It is Chicago ball as we resume. They lead 96-95, just under 7 minutes remaining in the game. Michael Jordan has returned. Michael has 32 points.
See, Marv, the problem was Michael goes out of the game, the score is tied, he comes back, and the Suns are still down one. Instead of gaining ground, they basically lost ground when Michael goes out. Here comes a steal there.
Michael Jordan, NBA steals leader. Coming up with that bet. And again, the Bulls swing it effectively. 3-point Chicago lead. They've led most of the way. They've led by as many as 14. Barkley drew the foul off the fake.
Let's go back to a moment ago. Magic was talking about when Michael Jordan steps back on the floor, you have to pay special attention. He has the mentality of taking the ball to the basket and then so good finishing with either right or left.
Second team. Number 24, Tom Chambers returns to the Suns.
Tom Chambers,
Number 25,
replacing Oliver Miller. Miller with 3 blocked shots, 8 points. Phoenix with 11 blocks, 5 by Dan Majerle. Barkley is 7 of 8 from the line. He had a good year at the line, 76%, his best ever in the NBA. Here comes Horace replacing Stacey King.
You talk about blocked shots as another defensive weapon. In game 1, Phoenix had 10 blocks. Chicago ended up with 8. Right now, Phoenix with 11. Chicago with 6. During the regular season, both these teams averaged about 5 block shots a basketball game. So you do a little bit more when that adrenaline's flowing in the big game like this.
The Bulls 98. The Suns 96. Jordan, he's getting good looks.
Oh yeah, see, Phil Jackson knew that was the right time to rest Michael. Now bring him back with 6 minutes to go and have him take over the game.
Johnson and Williams rebounds. The Bulls with the ball and a 4-point lead. Jordan, rebounded by Chambers. Phoenix on the run. Barkley from Johnson. He came up short. He's claiming that he was fouled, pleading his case to Jack Madden. Pippen passed on the shot. And Jake O'Donnell blows the whistle.
Let's go back to what Charles Barkley is complaining about right now as he tries to finish off the play. The hand in the face is what Charles is claiming took place. He wants to know why no foul is called. Barkley on the drive, the swipe attempt by Jordan. Charles saying, hey, I should be shooting a couple free throws, but no sympathy.
And a foul called on Tom Chambers, giving Chicago a new 24. Armstrong can't find the shot, picked up on the switch by Barkley. Shot clock at 6. And a violation is called on Pippen.
Now, after Michael Jordan hit Barkley in the face, he came up to Barkley on the other end and say, are you all right? So I guess Michael did foul him.
Scottie Pippen with his 6th turnover. The Suns have gone cold. They've hit only 2 of their last 11 shots. 4:40 remaining in the game. Chicago leads by 4. Ainge for 3. Barkley missed the tip. And Armstrong gets to it.
You see gang rebounding by Chicago. Everybody tries to help out.
And Jordan able to finish it off. And the foul. Beautiful fast break. executed. The foul was called on Kevin Johnson.
Now the key to this fast break is B.J. Armstrong, because watch him look off the man who was guarding Michael Jordan, and he looked him off and then came right back to him. Beautiful move by B.J. to set up Michael Jordan. And the difference in this game right now is going to come down to half-court execution, and we know already who is the better half-court team, which is the Chicago Bulls. So Phoenix is going to have to execute here in that half-court if they're going to win this game.
And Frank Johnson has come on for Kevin Johnson. Frank Johnson played well earlier. Kevin Johnson again has been ineffective. Frank Johnson, though, called for the travel. B.J. Armstrong in game 1, 16 points. Kevin Johnson had 11. And tonight, B.J.'s hit a couple of big buckets here in the fourth quarter, but Kevin Johnson just has not done it.
And Marv, he's upset too. Kevin Johnson is upset that he's not in this game, especially at winning time. This is winning time. He used to be an all-star, a veteran, so you know he's not happy.
Pippen for Williams, and he's fouled. Hard foul given by Barkley. Yes, you have the idea that Paul Westphal wanted to pull Kevin Johnson, use the excuse of the fourth foul to get him out of there, but as you say, Kevin is not happy about it.
No question about it. It's going to be, if Phoenix does not win this game, something is going to come about with this decision here. So hopefully they can rally together and won't have a problem. But we got a lot of basketball to play. They're only down 6, that being the Phoenix Suns, so there's still much in this game.
Scott Williams, 1 for 3 from the line. And the Bulls having the difficulties at the line, but a key rebound by Horace Grant.
Here's the mismatch. Frankie Johnson trying to guard Pippen. Almost an illegal defense, or it should have been called against Phoenix as Chambers went over to double team, but there was no basketball there.
And a Mike block called, so a new 24 presented to the Bulls. Oliver Miller returns, and Charles Barkley will sit down. I would think this will be a brief rest. Barkley departing with 40 points, 13 rebounds. Bulls with the ball and a 6-point lead. Ainge now guarding Pippen. Here's Grant. Last touch by Chicago. Phoenix requesting a 20-second timeout. Charles Barkley back on the floor. This series may be coming down to these moments. Chicago trying to go 2-0 with the scene shifting back to Chicago for Game 3 on Sunday. And the Suns trying to tie it, and one apiece. Suns have missed their last 6 shots. Chambers. And it will be Phoenix ball, and Tom Chambers upset. He wanted a goaltend.
It wasn't even close. What happened was Scott Williams saw that he couldn't get the rebound, so he just knocked it out of bounds. Here it is right here. See, he's just going to knock it out of bounds after it came off the rim.
Timeout is being taken with 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining of the game. The Bulls 102 and the Suns 96. Kevin Johnson remaining on the bench, with Paul Westphal opting for the veteran, Frank Johnson.
The only way you can look at this is you can't make it a personal thing. It's the team trying to win. Coaches are forced into making difficult decisions. You got to go with what's working for you. And the best thing that KJ can do is understand this, accept it, and do everything possible to get this team back in the series.
Ainge on the recovery. Barkley. So Charles will go to the line. Scottie Pippen called for his 4th.
Understanding that he has to get to the free throw line and stop the clock. Barkley with the ball fake. Pippen smart enough to realize I cannot let him get the shot off, so he smothers him, forces Charles to the ground.
Well, Phoenix is still doing an excellent job on the offensive board. Right now, that gave them their 15th, I think, offensive rebound. And you need offensive rebounds when you're not shooting the ball well.
Barkley is 9 for 11 from the line. Foul situation, 4-piece on Pippen. And Williams, 4-piece on Chambers. And Kevin Johnson. Bulls 102. The Suns 98. 2 minutes 40 seconds remaining fourth quarter. The matchup is Ainge, Pippen. Jordan to the fadeaway. Michael Jordan with another big shot. He has 38 points.
But Mark, I can't believe his elevation still that high at this point in the game. The man should be tired, but he elevated even higher to get that shot off.
6-point Chicago lead. Here's Marley. Way off.
Magic, you know, in New York, they checked him for the entire game in one of those Knicks games, and on an average, he elevated 30.5 inches on each jump shot that he took. To do it at the end of a game like that, very difficult.
Unbelievable. Suns have missed their last 9 shot attempts. Shot clock down to 3. And a push called on Johnson.
He gets to the spot, Michael Jordan, where he knows he wants to go up. Then he gets a little fade, but the extra lift in his legs to give him the clean look at the rim. You know it's going in from the time it leaves his hands, just by the way he used his legs.
Non-shooting foul, 4th team foul on the Suns. Bulls have 3. Kevin Johnson has returned. Series of fakes. Michael Jordan makes it 40 points, and the Bulls with a 106-98 lead.
It's a triangle offense, all right, but the triangle is smart enough to get the ball to Michael Jordan in a one-on-one isolation. The other 4 red shirts on the other side of the floor. Watch it, Michael.
A minute 33 to go. Suns down to their final timeout. 1 remaining. The home crowd trying to urge the Suns on. They are down 106-98. Timeouts remaining. Bulls have 1 foul to give. Next foul by Phoenix puts them over the limit. Ainge for 3. Yes. Bulls 106. The Suns 101.
That was a tough 3 because he almost lost control of the basketball as he received the pass. Still was able to secure it and get a shot off on a good look.
Bulls looking to use the clock. 7 on the 24. Jordan. Chambers with the rebound. Michaels have a hot hand. In the fourth quarter, he'd hit 5 of 7 for that miss. Ainge around Pippen. What a move by Danny Ainge. 5 straight points by Ainge, and he's brought the Suns within 3.
Well, Phil Jackson just said, look at the clock, and let's slow this game down. He told his players, use the clock more.
Shot clock at 10. 42 seconds to go in the fourth. Pippen. Rebound, Chambers.
Chicago has a foul to give. They better keep that in mind now and use it wisely.
Oh, Kevin Johnson fortunate that Armstrong was called for that foul because Kevin lost the dribble off his foot.
One of the reasons they went out and got this guy from Portland is because he has the ability to make big shots. He's been in a lot of big critical situations, big basketball games. First the outside, then the inside for Danny Ainge.
Now right here, it's important for Chicago to make Phoenix use some of the clock. Good block by Pippen.
Knocked away by Pippen. We're down to 20 seconds. Chicago with the ball and a 3-point lead. And the foul given by Kevin Johnson.
I'm not sure that with this much time remaining on the 24-second clock and in the game that you've got to take a quick pass and try to get it up. You got 27 remaining in the game, 18 on the shot clock. Get a good high percentage shot.
Well, I think when you live by the jump shot, you die by the jump shot, and that's what's going to happen right here.
Scottie Pippen was 3 of 9 from the line in game 1. Tonight, 3 of 4. And the Bulls now lead 107 to 103, 17 and 4/10 seconds remaining.
I think if Phoenix lose this game, they're going to look back at when it was 9:38. The score was tied 91-91. Jordan went out. When he returned with 6:59, they were up 96-95. And now McCray scored, 6 points since he returned and got them this lead.
On the handoff from KJ to Ainge, Pippen slides underneath it, and he has so much range that he is able to go underneath the guy that handed off KJ, still elevate and get a piece of that three-point attempt by Danny Ainge. In my opinion, an ill-advised shot at that time.
Scottie Pippen has not had big numbers offensively, 14 points, but he's done it in other areas. That his second block. He's also collected 10 assists and 11 rebounds. Here's Ainge going right to the hoop. Bulls did not want to foul. 108, 105, down to 10 seconds, and the foul is given. With 9 and 8/10 seconds remaining of the game, Michael Jordan will head to the line. Frank Johnson called for that foul. Jordan is 2 of 3 from the line, and 84% free throw shooter.
And in the playoffs, an 85% free throw shooter. So very consistent from regular season throughout the playoffs.
Michael Jordan on the line, 1 plus the penalty for 2 shots.
9 and 8/10 seconds to go. And the Bulls with a 109-105 lead.
Number 42, Scott Williams.
And to make matters worse for Phoenix, looking ahead, the Bulls have won 8 straight playoff games in Chicago. Game 3 in Chicago Sunday night will be on hand starting 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
The Suns must play better team defense if they're going to win a game in Chicago.
It's a 5-point Chicago lead. Marley looking for the 3. Marley fires. Time running out on the Phoenix Suns. Foul is given with 1 and 4/10 seconds to go. Kevin Johnson picks up the foul. The Phoenix Suns are about to become the first team in the history of the NBA Finals to lose games 1 and 2 at home.
Mark, with this road victory, think about this. In the finals, Chicago will be 7-1 in road games. That's incredible.
Well, I know about that. They beat us 3 times in the Forum when we played them in the championship. This team is focused. The Chicago Bulls want to make history 3 in a row. And they're focused, and they're doing it with aggressive defense and execution on offense.
So the Bulls make it 2-0. Will count. It's a 3-pointer. The basket counts. So the final score, as Danny Ainge converts again from downtown, the Bulls 111, the Suns 108. Charles Barkley 42 points, 13 rebounds. Michael Jordan 42 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists, just shy of a triple-double.
Jordan and Barkley battled throughout Game 2 of the 1993 Finals, matching each other's 42-point efforts. The Bulls proved too strong, though, and came away with the 3-point win on the road. The Suns would end up winning Games 3 and 5 in Chicago, but would end up losing the series in 6 games, as the Bulls would win their 3rd straight NBA championship. Thanks for watching this edition of Hardwood Classics. We'll see you next time.